Thank you. Hey guys, Ashley Daniels here for another Real Housewives of New York after show. I am with Thomas Orlina and Lyndsey Wegner tonight, and we have so much to talk about, so tune in.
You're tuning into the destination for TV superfan discussion, AfterBuzz TV. And now, let the buzz begin.
Hey.
Yes, we picked a good song tonight because the episode... And we've got the music.
Yes.
I wonder who
It's like we're in a rap video,
that's
guys.
Awesome. Yes. So the episode's called A New Low, and so we're getting low with Flo Rida. Hi guys, Ashley Daniels here. You can tweet me at Ashley Daniels. I will be watching live as well in the chat on YouTube, so be sure to comment, and also don't forget to comment, subscribe, and rate us. And we want to hear you. We want to hear your thoughts. Did I say where my Twitter is? If I didn't, it was at Ashley Daniels. I may have repeated myself. I think I'm getting dementia. Who is to my right tonight?
Hey guys, I'm Lyndsey Wegner. You can tweet me and find me on all things social media at Lyndsey Wegner, LYNDSEYWEGNER.
Hey guys, I'm Thomas Orlina. I love when I hear from you guys, so please follow me everywhere on social media at Thomas Orlina and check out my website, thomasorlina.com.
Yeah, I am just tweeting out the link so that you guys can find us right now, and
We're
so
not
much to talk
texting.
about. No, I'm not texting to the one man that was being a little smart. You know what?
Well,
Yes.
You know I wasn't texting. Okay, so lots to discuss tonight. Actually, I felt like this was almost a two-parter, but really we're going to have to
was.
wait for more.
It
No, but I
never
felt like
disappoints.
this itself could have been a two-parter. There was so much just in that one scene that we'll get
Oh,
to.
the
But the
dinner scene,
dinner,
yeah.
yeah, lots. It kind of reminded me a little bit of last season with Jules. That dinner with except there wasn't a fork and a calzone,
yes.
but everything else.
Thank God there wasn't.
Yeah, I know, right? That was just like, what?
I love the New York dinners though. You always get that drama. There's something that's gonna happen on that.
They're
in that
just a
dinner.
little bit brash. Mm-hmm. So it just comes across a little bit harsher. And Ramona, her tact is zero.
Yeah.
I don't know if she has any tact really at all. Kind of disappoints me.
Okay, so I just...
You got it tweeted out.
I didn't tweet out the link yet. I'm trying to find it, but that's okay. In the meantime, I let everybody know that we're on there, and I'll wait for AfterBuzz to tweet it, and then I will retweet that. Oh, there we go. Thank you, AfterBuzz. I just retweeted it. Okay,
we go.
so starts off with Tinsley tonight. Tinsley starts off the episode. I'm happy to see that. Little
Yes.
Tinsley for our... Oh, if it was Tuesday, it would have sounded so much better. Little Tinsley for our Tuesday, but it's Wednesday, so forget it. A little Tinsley for our Wednesday. Tinsley and Sonja. She thinks that Sonja can get along with LuAnn if Sonja just stops talking about Tom. That's kind of how she starts it.
Yeah.
I mean, for a girl that doesn't know too much about what's going on because she, just started with the girls and everything, she's pretty dead on right now. I mean, I think at this point, if Sonja just stopped talking about Tom, LuAnn would reconcile things. She would just get over it and move on. Do you guys think that she would as well? That LuAnn would just get over everything if Sonja just stopped and just tried to move on from here on?
You want to go first?
I think it's pretty apparent that she wouldn't after you see what happens at that dinner tonight.
You don't think that Sonja and LuAnn could get along if Sonja just stopped?
No, because LuAnn
Really?
dug into the conversation that was happening between Ramona and Bethenny.
Oh, right,
And
yeah.
went right in and just jumped right in, ready to insult her with something. So, no, she's just going to keep that in her hip pocket and
Well, she
hold on to
insulted
it.
Bethenny.
Yes, but
You're saying that.
But I feel
you're
like
just saying
she'll-
that who she is.
That's
okay.
that's who she is.
Okay.
She's gonna keep that in her hip pocket now.
Yeah, okay.
And so when the time comes, then she's gonna insult her with it.
This is the beauty of our show, is that we are like The View in a sense, because we don't all have the same, and
Yeah.
I love that, but I don't agree. But I
hope
love that
she
you say
wouldn't
that.
do that.
Yeah.
But she really kind of frustrated me in this episode for doing that. I didn't
Yeah.
like that side of her. And she's never, in my opinion, seemed like that kind of person that would be like that. But something happened today, so
Yeah. Okay.
Well, my perspective, I think that LuAnn would probably appreciate the fact that Sonja would let it go, but I don't ever see that happening. I feel like Sonja is going to hold on to this forever. I just don't see them really coming to terms with that at all.
That stinks. All right. Well, live chat. Hey guys. Hey Joseph. What's up? Hi Josh. Okay, so you guys don't agree. I don't think Sonja will ever do it, but I do feel that LuAnn would get over it because LuAnn desperately wants people to stop saying negative things, and I think she would be willing to. When I say get over it, I mean with quotations in that, because we know LuAnn wouldn't really, but she would act like she would be. And so that's what I mean. Okay, so they're packing for their trip, Tinsley and Sonja, and then we see Dorinda and LuAnn at LuAnn's house with Victoria. So the second time we've seen Victoria in the last few weeks. Gorgeous, doing so well. Yeah. And I think we saw last season or the season before, she's an artist now, and I do follow her on Instagram. Yeah. So I've seen that she does a lot with art, and she seems like she's just doing really, really well. So it's cool to see her back again. I love always seeing like Avery and the girls. I know Lyndsey, and I'm sure you guys do too.
They seem solid.
They do.
You know,
very grounded
Avery
girls.
and Victoria are both very grounded, both doing well in school, not getting involved in the hype of things. And I feel like it's a little bit different for the girls of New York than it is for the girls of Beverly Hills or Orange County and stuff, because they are getting more into the modeling entertainment side of things, where these girls, and I'm not saying that they couldn't, Victoria and Avery couldn't, but Victoria getting into the art side and seems very...
Their passions are way different.
Yes, are very, very different, and it's interesting to see that juxtaposition then between California and New York.
Yeah.
I love how supportive she is with LuAnn and her marriage and everything, and I think that's nice to see a mother-daughter relationship like that.
Yeah.
So it's good for the show.
Yeah, it is, definitely. And so Dorinda and LuAnn are together with Victoria, and they're talking about Dorinda not being invited to the, what was it, Mad Hatter? Sonja's party last week. It was a Mad Hatter-themed party. And, you know, she says, well, have you seen Sonja lately? Like, she was doggy style, like with this guy on the ground, and then we see this picture. Where was that from? Was that from that party?
It was from LuAnn's bridal shower.
That was from LuAnn's bridal shower. Okay, got it. So, interesting. First of all, why didn't we get LuAnn's bridal shower on camera? Why did we miss out on that?
Maybe that might be part of a special that they might be releasing.
Okay, hopefully. Because I want to see more of that.
I don't know for sure, but maybe.
I mean, Sonja's got some moves. We saw her humping the bed later on today.
But when they brought this up, I was expecting it to be bad. And she's just she's in full clothing, she's not even wearing a dress.
Yeah.
So I was expecting the worst, especially with it being Sonja. It wasn't bad at all. It wasn't even typical shenanigans for a like bachelorette party or bridal shower. Like we saw worse on Vanderpump Rules.
Yeah, I think it was definitely an attempt to highlight the fact that Sonja could have been belligerently drunk in that photo. And because, I mean, it's really sad to see that their friendship is kind of dissolving a little bit. We'll see how the end of the season goes, but I think that was just an attempt to show that this is crazy Sonja, and, you know, Sonja's been coming after her in the press and, you know, saying all these negative things about her. That is kind of Dorinda's little tactic to bring that out, because they had shown that on TV for quite a while. People got a really good glimpse of what was going on.
Wow, there's a lot of people going on. There's a lot of things going on in the chat right now.
We love it. We love the comments, too.
I love how opinionated you guys are. Thomas, will you keep track of that for a sec while I just... Okay, cool. Let me know if there's anything that we should read out. But
absolutely.
Okay, so then we see the election stress with Carole and Bethenny. So, you know, they're talking about Ramona not knowing... Carole's talking about Ramona not knowing a lot about politics again. She brings it up again. I just find this so aggravating, because I hate when smart people use that in a way that makes them seem like they're better than other people, because at the end of the day, Ramona is smart. We see the house that she bought before she even got married, and you know, she's smart in her own ways. We all have our own. We all have our own. You know, things about us that we're better at and things we're not so good at. And just because you're not good at math doesn't mean you're not good at something else. And whatever it is,
it kind of takes you to like high school or junior high, where there's always that one smarter person than everybody else, and they have to make you feel bad. And
and I
that's
don't
totally
like
her
it.
role. I know, no.
Not cool. And I just think less is more with that. And I don't know. She doesn't really need to be doing that. But so she's talking about Ramona not knowing much about politics, and that she felt Ramona called Hillary a criminal. She said that Ramona called Hillary a criminal. So she said she heard that.
Yeah.
Well, and she isn't interested in politics and doesn't know much about it.
Right.
Yeah.
And Bethenny is like, all roads lead to the White House. We can talk about flowers, and then it's going to end up being, let's talk about politics. Let's talk about Trump and Hillary. So it's going to be, as we've been saying, very interesting to see the party that night when
Oh, I can't wait.
I loved hearing Bethenny say, though, that
Trump
she
and
was going to
Hillary.
get Donald Trump and put Carole and him in the same room.
That would be, can you
and lock them in
imagine?
a closet.
What
Like,
a reality
it
show
was-
that would be.
I laughed out loud. It was really funny.
Oh my Lord.
And the night with the selfie between them two.
Yes. I mean,
Joseph agrees with me. Hi, Joseph. I'm like, oh, how are you doing? No, you guys are all awesome. It's hard to see everything. Okay, so acupuncture and the cupping, I think it's called cupping with the
Yeah.
back. And
Would
that's
you ladies ever
Bethenny
do
and
that?
Carole.
I'm just curious.
never.
Because it's kind of an LA thing to do, too.
The cupping thing scares me.
I'm gonna say maybe if it helps with. I have a really bad back, so if it helped me with that, I would probably do it. But it looks disgusting. It looks so gross. It's like just flesh, just like in this cup. It's gross.
Yeah,
It's
they
literally-
light that bulb up and then they put that on your
And
back.
that's why it expands in you, like, it pulls your...
Yeah, I've seen the body
Acupuncture, I get.
after.
Yeah,
I
totally.
I've done
understand the
acupuncture before. I didn't feel anything afterward, but my mother swears by it. My mother has fibromyalgia, and she swears by it, so it helps her move afterward. But I
Hi,
can't.
Grace. Hi, Mom.
I love. She's obsessed with Lyndsey. Side note, literally
obsessed
stalks
with
her. But
look
yeah,
like
I don't
sisters.
know. She'll love to hear that. She's good. But yeah, so you wouldn't do that, but you would do acupuncture.
I
or
would do
no?
acupuncture. The
Would you do
cupping
any?
scares me.
I think I would try the cupping as long as it didn't leave a mark on my skin.
Oh well,
because
you
it
wouldn't
looks-
try the cupping then.
Well, I mean, like long term. I feel like those
How
things.
long does it last?
I don't know, but I've
A
seen
week?
people's backs
Yeah,
after.
you can't go to the beach. I mean, if you get those tan circles on your back,
Oh,
that would be the worst.
That would be so bad.
Yeah.
Okay, but not much
I
went
would
on
try it,
there.
though.
I mean, if you guys have anything you want to add to that scene, it's just like those scenes are sometimes just like, why?
Fillers.
I hate the filler scenes. Give us more of the things we want to see and less
Yeah.
of the boring stuff. So the dinner. Here we go. Here's the juicy stuff. So dinner with LuAnn, Ramona, Dorinda, Carole, Bethenny. Ramona stirs the pot today. So Dorinda,
does.
she gave Dorinda a break. She asks if there's a picture of her and Avery, and she says, look at this picture of me and Avery, and before anybody can even look at it, she jumps down their throat and she's like, don't you think I look beautiful? Don't you think we look beautiful?
She definitely loves to hear compliments, and it's definitely has to be at the time that she wants to hear them.
Yeah.
She was on a roll.
Yeah, it was like,
She was on a roll. She had
Yeah.
some Ramona Pinot Grigio because she had
did.
some liquid courage to say those things, and because Ramona got on my nerves this
Yeah.
episode.
Yes.
I'm not a fan of her this episode right now.
yeah, it's tough.
Especially this dinner scene. And I'm try to be impartial with everyone and see the good in each person.
Mm-hmm.
And Bethenny isn't always the greatest person either, but this really bothered me today.
yeah.
I was
blame you.
watching, and I do Beverly Hills, and I feel like I see a lot of what Lisa Rinna does. It's really good for TV. I enjoy it. I'm at home watching this show, and I feel like this is really funny. But some of the things she does, you never know. Is it intentional? You know, the timing of the things that she says, is it to make somebody feel uncomfortable on purpose? Or is this just like in her mind, this is the delivery that this is how Ramona operates?
Do we think? Oh, sorry. Go ahead, Lyndsey.
Do you think, but isn't, there's something about Lisa Rinna that is still, in my opinion, likable.
No.
Oh,
Wow.
really?
No.
I
I love when we disagree because we
Yes.
always agree.
This is good.
I
Yeah.
still think that there's something in Lisa Rinna, like, sometimes I think she's just like a ditz and literally like thinks nothing of it. Where Ramona actually knows what she's doing. She just has no tact in doing it. I think Ramona knows, where I think sometimes Lisa Rinna, there's been things that Lisa Rinna said this
Yeah.
season, especially the thing about, let's talk about your arrest. We're not talking about Lisa Rinna. Anyway,
Yes.
Well,
I'm not a huge
I agree with
comparisons.
you, but I think Lisa Rinna took notes from Ramona because she's like, hey, let's take notes from the girl that's been on the show for like 20
That's
years. Like, let's do that.
real good point.
Because Lisa Rinna says things that you just know Lisa Rinna is very much aware it's going to cause controversy. She just drags things on too long. There's just so many things that she does, and I'm like, hey, wait, Ramona does those things. So
Yeah.
very good point, Thomas.
Very
I think they're a
tactful.
lot alike. Absolutely. So Ramona says that, and that's just the first thing she does. And first of all, she wasn't drinking her Pinot Grigio tonight. She was drinking red wine. Probably the first time I've ever seen her drink red wine. Just side note.
And they were having salads and pizza at the time. So,
Yeah.
I mean, Even I drink white wine with my salad and have red wine with my steak.
Maybe they didn't have Ramona Pinot Grigio, and she was like, well, I'm not drinking anything but that. Ramona has been lashing out since season 5. Cassandra says, when Mario started cheating, she's so immature and over the top. They need to stop making excuses for her.
Oh, Cassandra, I'm so on that train with you.
Interesting, Cassandra. So they're talking about the election. At this point, Ramona's basically saying, like, I don't know if I want to go to the party because of the way Carole acted towards me at Sonja's house about, about politics, and at your house, Bethenny. And in the corner, you see Dorinda and Carole talking about what will happen if Trump wins. And Dorinda says she will tell Hannah to go strip. Right?
Yes.
If Trump wins. Now, I interviewed Dorinda on the Tomorrow Show a few months back, and this was before Trump won, I believe. And she was talking about how close she is to Hillary. So she's a huge Hillary supporter, and her husband, Richard, I think his name was, right? Her first, he was also, and they've known her for years. So these are two like diehard Hillary fanatics that are sitting at the same table. And they're basically saying these like ultimatums, like if this happens,
their
then
words
this happens.
at this point.
Right?
Terrible.
Can you imagine what they're thinking right now, watching it?
I'm sorry, I don't think that, and maybe this is not the time to discuss this, but I don't feel that Republicans make the claims that the liberals do. Like, I feel like the liberals will throw something out like that, saying, oh, if this happens, then you should be a stripper and you should date a misogynistic man because that's what we've got in office. I don't feel like Republicans are like, well, if Hillary wins, then we need to send out emails that nobody listens to and we should be called a crook. I don't feel like that's, I don't know. It really frustrates me seeing these insults, and literally when you know you're going to be on TV and it's a 50-50 chance.
It is a 50-50 chance, and she took a gamble on that. Go strip. I mean, that was a little bit much.
Yeah, a little bit.
And date a misogynistic man.
A little bit.
Yeah.
That's a rough thing to say.
Was it the drinks? Was it reality? I don't know, but it was crazy. And
I mean, at that time, a lot of people did feel like Hillary had it completely in the bag. So I think that was just it. They felt like a lot of people felt like they could say whatever they wanted to about Donald Trump, and they had no idea this was going to happen.
Right.
So I think that was what was going on at that moment.
Okay.
I think people are still doing that though.
Oh yeah.
Now.
Yeah.
You know.
So then Bethenny brings up Brynn, and she's like, oh, Brynn's in public school, and she loves it. And this is where Ramona just has her heel turn.
Before they even have their drinks.
Before they even have their drinks.
No meal.
Heel
We're
turn
not even there yet.
for Ramona, because Ramona wants to know, hey, Bethenny, has anyone approached Brynn about like your soft porn that you did like 20 years ago? And Bethenny's like, now, Bethenny's so smart. Bethenny knows that they want a reaction out of her. So Bethenny's going to do the opposite. She's going to act like she's almost proud of the video, almost like it's like a joke, like she doesn't care about it.
She has to. She is
has
a
to.
brand.
It's
she
her
is
way
a
of staying
entrepreneur.
strong. Right. She's like,
props to her for doing that.
that's
kept
tough.
her
She
cool.
did not expect that to happen.
I did not expect that.
1,000%. Nope. I mean, we didn't.
handled that like.
So you think she handled it well, right?
I thought she handled it.
But once we get through the whole dinner, I'll say what I felt.
Okay, great, because I really want to know. So then she talks about, she's like starting to be sarcastic. She's like, well, yeah, Barbara Walters came up to Brynn and asked, or I think she said Barbara Walters, somebody. She's making a bunch of Diane Sawyer, Barbara Walters.
Yes.
Kelly Ripa. Somebody was going to go up to her, and she's like, well, somebody came up to her and asked her about it, and then I think it was LuAnn that said, really? Who was it? Was it LuAnn or was it Sonja? Someone thought she was being serious. I think Dorinda was the one that thought that Bethenny was being serious. Someone looked at her and said, really?
I think it was LuAnn, because LuAnn was doing a lot of tag teaming with Ramona on this episode.
So then the two of them, it's LuAnn and Ramona, and they're kind of being snarky in the corner, talking, and we see it as it sounds loud, but really when you think about it, if you're whispering but you have a mic on, that's going to come off loud. So really, they're almost trying to be discreet about it in a sense, because by doing so, they're trying to tell Bethenny, hey, we're going to whisper just enough that you can hear us a little bit, which I think is even more of a dig than talking out loud.
Yeah. You know what? It's definitely when you're with one of your closest friends, I feel like you have that confidence. If you're at, wherever, Lisa Vanderpump's restaurant, if you're with one of your friends and somebody there and you're attacking them, you feel that confidence enough to talk to somebody like that.
Right.
In that manner.
Good point. Yeah.
Never.
Well, I'm speaking
would
on behalf of a
never.
housewife
Yeah.
status.
Yes,
Right.
You're right. You're right. I mean, and this is the point of the show is drama, but I would never, ever excuse myself and then maybe have a conversation with somebody, but I would never in front of the person.
Yeah,
And do
they were
it.
searching though.
Yeah.
They definitely were.
Yeah. So Bethenny says Ramona tried to embarrass her through her daughter and that she was being tricky. So do you agree with Bethenny?
I do. I think that the question should have been, how do you feel about that being out there in the press? I think talking about Brynn and just tying that all in there on top of everything that Bethenny is going through at that moment, it was just like what she said. It was a new low for Ramona because she could have easily asked her how did she feel about being talked about in the press, but to talk about Brynn and, I mean, it's just Brynn is in
It
first
has nothing
grade.
to do right now with Brynn. She's 6 years old. She has no idea.
Was that a cop-out? Was that her way? Because she says, Carole, what's about having a daughter, having kids?
Well, that's what bothered me too, because Ramona told Bethenny to stop and that you're just being weird. You're being weird.
You're being defensive, you're being weird.
I didn't think that.
What?
I mean, Ramona's tact. She doesn't like. Yeah, she doesn't. I don't like you being defensive. Well, you don't have a say in how someone reacts and responds
What did she
to
want?
you.
So in a perfect world, Ramona wanted to say this, and she wanted the reaction from Bethenny to be, I'm gonna think she wanted to be, no one has approached her yet. I hope they don't. I'm embarrassed about the video. I think that's what that's what she would have needed to feel like she did. If it's not if she doesn't want the reaction that just happened, then that's the reaction she would have been happy with, I would assume. Was Bethenny saying no, but I hope it doesn't come out.
Yeah, and I also think that Ramona is holding on to, like what you said in the previous episode, how she feels like Bethenny is only her friend when it's convenient to her. This is Ramona holding on to some type of negative energy, because if that was your friend, you wouldn't ask those questions. Right. So I think they're not in a good place, and that was her way of attacking her. LuAnn piggybacked off of what she was saying, and so that's what happened tonight.
Right.
Well, and then when Bethenny said, didn't you write an etiquette book, LuAnn? Would you be doing this? I mean, I thought that was kind of nice of her to bring up. And that's when Ramona said to her, Carole, you don't have a daughter, so you don't understand.
Yeah, that was rude.
That was very rude.
That was a low blow.
You can't show empathy for somebody else because, right, Carole doesn't have a daughter, so no one's going to approach her child about something in the press, about another housewife or something, and won't have to ever have to handle that situation. But that doesn't mean that she's not aware of the consequences or how she would react about it.
None of us have kids, and we were all able to fully understand and empathize with Bethenny. So why? I don't know. I'm speaking from. I know you don't. Maybe you have kids. I have no idea. Okay. But yeah. Now, did you guys think that there was some satisfaction in LuAnn when she saw Bethenny get attacked by Ramona?
Absolutely.
Yeah, okay.
I definitely think that LuAnn went through the ringer at the reunion. She went through a lot last year with what Bethenny did to her. Mm-hmm. It was almost kind of watching her enjoy what was happening to a certain degree. I'm not saying these women are evil, but I think that she did enjoy a little bit of seeing Bethenny in the hot seat tonight.
And having it be about something, sorry, Lyndsey, something sexual, because she was obviously called, a
She
snake
said
and a whore.
soft porn, I think about 1,500 times tonight.
Yep. That was the word of the night. I bet Andy will talk about that tonight on Watch What Happens Live.
Yeah, that's going to be his little
That'll
word
be
of
his
the
word.
day.
Yes. That'll be his drinking game word.
Yeah.
Lyndsey, what were you going to say?
LuAnn says that Bethenny can't interact with people, and that Ramona has a point. Because the way she interacts with people is wrong. She may be good at business, but she's not good at working with people, which I do think at times that even Bethenny has poor tact or blurts things out and says stuff too. I'm not saying that she's a saint, but in this situation, I thought the way that Ramona brought this up and what she was looking for and fishing for was the wrong thing, and I thought Bethenny handled it well. And eventually, obviously, when she gets called a witch and wicked, I would be like, I'm done with being insulted. You guys have a good dinner. Like, I still think she handled that, like, flipping. No? Okay, I want to hear. Yes, tell me.
No, I think that, I think tonight, I don't think Bethenny got the W. I think Ramona actually got the W because she saw this woman leave the restaurant. And I agree with you completely. I just feel like Bethenny should have stayed at the dinner table. I mean, you got to take that heat, If somebody's going to come after you, you better come up with something that's going to just show that you're that much of a bigger person that you're not gonna leave. And I kind of agreed with LuAnn at that point. I don't like what how Ramona did everything, but I wish that Bethenny would have stayed.
I wish she would have stayed too. Would I have stayed? I don't know, but I wish she stayed. Just because I agree with you in that she needs to take the heat when it comes at her, because if you're willing to give it out at any point, which we know she has. I mean, whether it was right or wrong, she has done that, and people haven't walked away. I mean, some people have, and we always give crap to the people that walk away. So in this case, she shouldn't. I'm not saying she gave crap to the people that walked away, though. I don't know if she did or not. I did.
Yeah, and it was a 2 against 1 type situation, and Carole wasn't really saying much, and Dorinda was just having her food, so she was just kind of alone.
Joseph thinks that there was a producer had put a bug in someone's ear to bring up big drama for Bethenny, and Cassandra agrees with that. Joseph says, I read online Jules didn't want to commit to this season because either she and Michael are getting a divorce and she wanted to focus on things. Yeah, we know. Yeah. Thank you for letting us know, though, Joseph.
Thank you.
So do you guys agree with Dorinda that if Bethenny or Ramona, so Dorinda said that if Bethenny had, how did she say? She had a porn, Bethenny would have brought it up to, okay, so sorry, my notes are so, I have like man writing, no offense to men, but I've got that like scribble scratch. Do you agree with Dorinda that if Ramona or Dorinda had a soft porn video that Bethenny would have been happy to bring it up? Because Dorinda said that tonight.
I don't think so, actually. Okay. I feel like Bethenny, there's so much going on in her life. I feel like that would be one of the last things that she would think about doing. I just don't. What do you think?
I think she would.
Yes,
I love it.
Yes.
Why do you
Hopefully
just have
this is entertaining for our viewers.
Reasons from both of you.
Opposing opinions. Here, I do agree with that if she had something, she would bring it up. I don't know if she would have brought it up in this situation here at this dinner, like right when they first get there. I feel like maybe at Ramona's dinner party, during hors d'oeuvres or something like that before the dinner starts, maybe bring it up then. I don't think she would go full-blown guns blazing into doing that about the situation, but I do think that she would approach the conversation about it. I do.
Okay. And why do
What
you
do you think?
Okay, good. Thank you. I think that Bethenny would have, but I think she would have done it in a way that was not like Ramona did it. And I don't think she would have tied in Avery by any means. I think she would have I think it would have been like, hey, Ramona, hey, like, so how's, I saw you, your boobies looked great in that video. Was that porn? Or she would have done something funny, but she would have brought it up because it is entertaining. They're on a show. Yeah. It is out there. But not the way. I think when you bring in kids, it's
the delivery,
iffy.
yeah.
But see, then that still comes back to the fact that I bet then Ramona would have been saying, you're being weird. Why are you being weird to me?
It always goes back to people
being
weird.
That's what she would have said. She would have been mad at Bethenny if she brought it up, if Ramona had done something like that, and she's going to react to Bethenny the same way.
And she's going to be, I don't want to talk about it anymore. I don't
want to talk about it anymore. No one can talk about it anymore. And she'd shut it down completely so that she wouldn't have to leave, which maybe you're right, that gives her a W. Mm-hmm. To me, the bigger person is, you know what? I'm going to leave. I'm going to walk away from this conversation right now. You guys, I'm confident enough with myself and what I do that you guys can sit here and talk about me because it says a lot more about you.
I love that.
What you say about me.
But is it good for the show? Is that going to keep Bethany on? Bethany's been on the show for so long. She's good. Bethany's fine. She's cemented. But I'm saying, if this were anyone else, could they do that and stay on the show?
Oh, I don't think so.
So is Bethenny taking advantage of, in a sense, of the fact that she is, as Thomas said, cemented into this season, into this entire Housewives franchise?
To go with that, she definitely has a pass to leave. She can leave whenever she wants
That's awesome.
to. Other women, if Jules would have left, it would have been like, well, you're actually leaving the series, so, you know, so.
Yeah.
I think she definitely had a pass to do that, but it would have been interesting to see what Bethenny would have done in that hot moment, Well,
I give her credit because there are so many times that she does stick around when she doesn't have to. And that's just to show you, like, the OGs, they don't have to work as hard in a sense. They don't have to do as much. They could just plant a seed and let other people fight, and they are fine. They're safe. Mm-hmm. It's the other ones that have to work harder. And we saw Dorinda. Now Dorinda's calming down. She's not as much, she's not stirring the pot as much because she kind of feels like her feet are on the ground.
She has one person that she wants to come after, so she's kind of holding in that energy.
Exactly. She's holding it all in.
Yeah.
Do you agree with LuAnn that Bethenny doesn't care about any of the girls?
Ooh, that's a tough question. I might let Lyndsey go first.
I think that Bethenny is more focused on her brand, on her child, than she's focused on the show and the women. She's got more important things. And maybe Carole's a little bit of a different story because they're closer, so she's keeping that friendship going. But I think that these women, at the end of the day, she doesn't really take it or leave it. Like we said, she can come and go on the show whenever she wants. She really has the decision that she can make herself. And I think she would take it or leave it.
Yeah, I definitely think that she cares about them to a certain extent. I think as a human, you are caring towards people, but as far as like really diving into every little detail, I think she's way past that. Especially how these women have treated her and some of the history that they have. So I think it's to a certain extent, but I don't think fully.
Okay. Sonja in the Hamptons with Tinsley. Unless you guys wanted to talk about anything else with the dinner, because the dinner was obviously extremely dramatic. No, you had something you wanted to say at the end.
Oh no, that was me feeling like Bethenny should have stayed.
Okay.
I wish she would have stayed.
Okay.
Yeah.
I actually do too.
Yes.
I just would have liked to see that go down a little longer.
We didn't see a table flip. We didn't see
No,
that.
no, we're not going to see that, unfortunately. But I don't think it would ever be as good as the first time.
I know. That's going to be hard to top.
Yeah, exactly. So they're in the Hamptons. Sonja is with Tinsley. They're staying at Sonja's friend's house. And Sonja's friend, we don't know who that is. If you guys know, because you guys are a bunch of little detectives like Dorinda's friend, who we don't know either, her PI, let us know whose house that was. We would love to know. But Sonja already knew how the bed was prior to getting on the bed. She said these beds have been tested. So I'm wondering if this is a guy's house. It looked very feminine, but she's like, these beds have been tested. And then she gets on it and starts humping the pillow to show you. But how would she know if she hadn't already, like, used it?
I have no idea whose house that is.
Yeah, we'll find out.
But I do have to say, like, just talking about Tinsley, I do enjoy her. Even though she hasn't been doing too much, I really enjoy seeing the dynamic between Sonja and Tinsley.
I know somebody in the chat, I think it was Cassandra or Charlie, said that they enjoyed Jules last season because she brought something young and fun. I thought Kristen brought more young and fun, and even Heather brought more young and fun than Jules did.
I think everybody brought more young and fun than Jules did. Jules was almost borderline, like we were almost scared. Sometimes we would feel nervous watching her.
Very nervous watching her, which was more of like you wanted to protect her and hug her, and
I know.
You know,
it just wasn't for
disturbing.
her.
Yeah. So I think that I agree with you. Tinsley is going to bring that young, fun vibrance that the show needs to keep everything a little bit more on all levels, from people watching from 18 to 50 or 60. We're going to all be on a page more than we would just if all the women are in their late 40s into their 50s. And I think, like you said, it's just going to take her a couple episodes to get herself into this drama. And I think next week we already see that there's going to be a little change right there.
I think that she's a little bit nervous going into this. You can kind of definitely see it. She's not trying to be the star of the show. I don't think she wants that. I think she just really wants to find her way in there. But I think between her friendship, I think that Sonja and Dorinda have been friends for a very long time. And like in everyday life, when you lose a friend, a new friend comes along. And I feel like that's what Tinsley is to Sonja. It's kind of like bringing a classic friend back into your life, and now everybody's kind of formed their group this season, you know?
Yeah.
It's the three, it's Ramona, Sonja, Ramona, LuAnn, and Dorinda. And you have Carole and Bethenny, and now you have Tinsley. It's a pairing. And it's interesting to see.
Is this the first time we've really seen three separate groups?
Oh,
in a while.
I think after the reunion, I think it was definitely, like, people formed their groups at that moment.
But I feel like Ramona is not totally with LuAnn in that she obviously has a lot to say about Tom 24/7. So sometimes she's with her, sometimes she's...
Yeah, it was kind of interesting how, like, LuAnn was so team Ramona
tonight.
Yeah,
well, just because she's so anti-Bethenny. Who does she hate more is the question that went through her head. Like, I hate them both. Who do I hate more?
Yeah. It was interesting to see Ramona and LuAnn just so close this whole entire episode.
Yeah, it was so creepy.
After everything that happened last season.
Really? Yeah, it was just... For a quick second, I was thinking LuAnn was going to take the high road and stick up for Bethenny, and I was like, this would be really telling as to, like, where she is now mentally, like, thinking, like, Tom maybe changed her, and then, nope, heel turn. And then it turns into
She's going to stick with her classic, friend over there.
Yeah. So then we see they're talking. So Sonja's in the Hamptons with Tinsley. She humped the bed. All right. Then we have Ramona, Dorinda, and Luann at like a lunch or drinks or something, and they're talking about the Facebook post, and Sonja saying that Dorinda's a liar, and Dorinda says that she's going to approach Ramona at the party. Now I have a question for you guys. Did Sonja post that Facebook post because she knew that they were filming at this point and it could be a great confrontation for the party that was about to happen that she already knew was going to happen? Because this was posted, I believe, that day, right? And the party was coming up either that night or the next night.
It was that day, yeah.
Right, so you don't just post that and then say you're looking forward to making up with somebody on your camera, but then saying that on Facebook unless you knew that this was going to be all cameras on her, because she's not getting a lot of camera time compared to everybody else.
Yeah. I don't know. I don't really see Sonja like that. I don't think she's as tactic as a lot of the other housewives. I think things just happen to her. So I'm not sure. I think she was really upset. I don't really think she thought too much about, oh, this is going to get back to Dorinda. I think that she was, I just think that she is angry and she is upset that she's not with Tom. Or not just with Tom, but having a life that a lot of these other women have now. Bethenny's in a relationship. You know, all these other women are in relationships, and the people that aren't happy are the ones that aren't.
Because at some point, all the
right.
women have been in relationships. Carole's in a long, relationship. Ramona was married. Sonja hasn't had that for a long time.
She hasn't, and it's very unfortunate because Sonja is a fun.
She's a fun-loving,
fun girl.
sensitive
She
soul.
deserves some happy. She'll get it.
I just wonder how this never got between Ramona and Sonja. Tom, I mean, because they were both seeing him at some point, or they'd both seen him, and didn't Tom, right? Am I wrong? Ramona was seeing Tom
Yeah.
at some point too, so I'm just surprised that it never got between them.
I think Ramona stretched, exaggerated.
Okay.
The dating.
You think she did?
That it was.
Okay, yeah.
And maybe they thought maybe Tom wasn't gonna marry Ramona.
Right.
So
Right, so they both knew it wasn't a threat to either of them because
Yeah.
none of them were going to marry him.
yeah.
Okay.
LuAnn just came in and just went for the steal.
Swooped him right in.
Right.
Swooped him right up.
So then Dorinda's like, I'm going to have to confront her tonight. This is going to be, I have to confront Ramona. I mean, not Ramona, I'm sorry. I have to confront Sonja.
Charlie in the chat room, says, I feel like the producers found that Facebook post for Dorinda.
Absolutely.
Charlie in charge is in charge tonight. You
Ding, ding, ding.
Yes, this PI, this friend that has nothing to do all day but spy. It's like someone. Listen, we all want to say we have that friend that does our dirty work for us. There's no one texting me at 9 p.m. like this person said this. That's me finding it. That's what
Yes.
happens. You find it, and you're too embarrassed to say you found it. So you're like, I have this friend who cares so much about me that they're just like not
And you
busy
gotta
at
be careful
all.
nowadays because now every social media outlet keeps track of who watches everything. So
Right.
That's the scary part.
Right. So this
Don't
is
get caught,
producers.
guys.
Charlie
Exactly.
in charge. Yes.
That's so interesting because you Snapchat and you Instagram, you can see who sees it.
Yeah.
So
Except you
if
can't see it on Facebook though, unless you like it or something.
Facebook stories now you
Facebook
can.
stories you can.
Oh, right,
You can
okay.
see it.
But not
So if
posts.
someone is not returning your text messages or they are no longer speaking to, but they're watching all your stuff, why are you watching my
Haters.
Snapchat? Why are you watching my Snapchat?
Exactly.
Yes.
Yep.
Sorry.
This
No,
is for
it's
another
so
show.
true
I have,
like, a
though.
hilarious story.
No,
I'll
it's
tell you
so
later.
true. It's so true. So thank you, Charlie. I agree
Thank
with
you, Charlie.
Okay, so Dorinda's friend, we've cracked the case. We know who that is. I was going to ask who's Dorinda's friend. We all know now. So then Ramona's house. First of all, have we seen this house before? I have.
We have.
Okay, it looks so different.
It looks different because they covered the pool.
Oh.
And it's during fall. I noticed that. It was like
Okay.
this, like, I don't know,
Did
this cover.
she ever reveal that she was the one who paid for this?
No, she did not. That is, I feel like, brand new.
Do we agree that
Well,
that's
this was
the
a good
case?
opportunity to bring it because she wants to let viewers out there know that this is the money that she had before she got married.
How much
is
are we
nice.
thinking that house is worth? I know someone in the live chat is either going to find it now or they're going to comment it to us because
Yes.
it's probably something we can find. It's probably public information. But
It is
I
a
mean, it's a
beautiful home.
Hamptons mansion, I would
beautiful.
say, or
High ceilings.
really, really big house.
If I had that house, I would throw a party every weekend.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, that's,
wouldn't
just the
leave.
taxes alone on that are insane. So if that's the case, then wow.
Yeah.
Wow. And what is she, I don't think she's lying, but it's just interesting that she just brought it up now.
Yeah, and I love when all the women go to the Hamptons.
Yeah.
It's nice to like get away from the city. It's almost like you're watching two different shows.
Right.
Because once you see Bethenny's house, once you see all the other women's house, it's always really nice to get out of the city.
Do we have
know.
a favorite Hamptons house so far?
I love Bethenny's house.
Where was the thing that went down between Heather Remember when Heather...
The Berkshires?
Was that...
Heather's Berkshire's house?
Was it Heather's house or was it somebody
Was
else's
it the boat
house?
with the lip? Kristen's lip?
I can't think of it now
Okay.
whose house it was. Maybe it was the Berkshires.
Okay.
But I didn't think it was Heather's house that they did it in.
Okay. I think it's
I like that it was a little bit more
I think it's
quaint.
Ramona's house. Whoever's backyard's always on Instagram. I think it's Ramona's. Jill Zarin had an amazing house too. Amazing Hamptons house.
I cannot wait
Huge.
for her to come all season.
So excited. I love Jill Zarin.
Jill's one of my favorites, yeah. So
Yeah.
I just love binge,
Seriously.
like watching old seasons.
Me
like,
too.
Season 3,
I can't help
season
it.
4.
I wish I had more
Alex.
time in my life because I would watch it all the time. It never gets old.
Yeah.
It never gets old.
It never gets.
somebody wrote about Alex and
and Kelly
comments.
Bensimon.
Ugh, I've seen those seasons so many times, and you're so right. They never get old.
Yeah.
episode with Kelly and Bethenny. You remember when they're
you're up
yelling
here
at each
and
other?
I'm down here.
That
Oh
was
my
classic.
God, I love
See,
it.
look at Bethenny will attack.
And
Yes.
Bethenny has never changed, and we were so worried about that when she was going to come back. Remember a couple years ago, we
she
were like,
is.
"Damn, she's so rich now. I hope she doesn't come back and change." She's the same girl. Love it.
Yes.
Dorinda is the silent. Oh, Dorinda. Carole says Dorinda's the silent assassin. I think that's kind of how we ended it. Then it's part 2, basically. We see Bethenny kind of spying in the car next episode. So,
Well, they're ready to go back to the city, so she's just kind of checking to see the final moments.
Yeah.
I'm sure she's getting a few text messages from.
yeah. So let's.
Carole.
Do we have any predictions that we want to get into? Any predictions, guys?
I am excited to see what happens with Tinsley going to this. I'm sorry.
She's
just so excited
She's like,
about it.
And I want to
Yes,
just
on
skip
your
over
mark.
the music. And the disco lights.
I'm excited to see what happens with Tinsley going to dinner with LuAnn and Dorinda and leaving Sonja out of it, because Sonja and her had a conversation about, well, what if I like Dorinda? And,
Yeah.
I can't really pick a side. So I'm really interested to see how that goes down. And I'm excited to see how Sonja reacts to everyone. Almost kind of, it looks like they might even kind of gang up on her.
Like alienate.
A little bit about it, because she mentioned something about the wedding and them saying, you weren't invited. You have to be invited to the wedding. And we didn't invite you.
It's gonna be interesting to see how she handles that.
How she handles it, because last year with the Bethenny thing, it upset her. And you could see her starting to crack at the table. Here she was going in thinking, oh, everything's going to be hunky-dory. We're all going to get along. And she's got that stone face where you're going to tell it's going to start to make the wheels turn. And I don't like seeing that. But
No.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to just seeing Bethenny going and talking to LuAnn about the last season. I think we haven't seen that yet. We haven't had that one-on-one between them, so I'm not sure if we're going to see it on the next episode, but I'm curious to see once they talk about it, because they have not talked about it yet.
Yeah. I am just looking forward to seeing Tinsley have some type of a storyline, seeing more Tinsley. I want to see her closet. I want to see she has so much money. I want to see more of like Tinsley Mortimer's like it girl lifestyle. Like we need to get more of that, other than like so far there's no glamour. There's no
And the whole lashes, she talks about lashes. Is she going to come out with a lash line?
Yeah.
If you're going to bring that in your tagline, this is the time to make some lashes.
Right. I want to see some money, okay?
Yes.
On the table.
Yes.
All right.
Some Tinsley money.
Some Tinsley money. Okay. So anyway, where can we find you all? Starting with Thomas.
Hey guys, I'm Thomas Orlina. Follow me everywhere at Thomas Orlina and check out my website, thomasorlina.com.
And this is Lyndsey here. You guys can find me on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter at Lyndsey Wegner, or my blog, lyndseyWegner.blogspot.com, which is LYNDSEYWEGNER. I won't be here next week because
No, you'll be in
guys,
New York.
I'm going to be in New York.
Yes.
You should try to get some exclusives while you're there.
Ash has already given me a bakery I need to go to.
Levain Bakery.
Levain Bakery. We're gonna go see a show.
so
It's
lucky.
my girlfriend. It's my first ever spring break and girls trip.
So
I'm
excited
33
for you.
and
So
You look like
exciting.
you're 22. Like it's ridiculous.
But so if you guys have any places that you know of that I should try and check
Is this
out
your first
one
trip
day-
to New York?
I haven't been since I was 17.
Oh, wow.
So it's been a long
girl.
time, guys. So if there's any places that you guys know or that you want me to check out or something, we're going to be staying on the Upper West Side.
Yay.
So let me know.
So
and I'll
excited
see
for
you
you.
guys in 2 weeks then.
And guys, please remember to rate, comment, and subscribe to us, and let us know what you thought about tonight's episode and the after show. We love reading all of your comments. And you can find me at Twitter, which is Ashley Daniels, not at Twitter, at Ashley Daniels on Twitter, at Miss Ashley Daniels on Instagram, and we will see you next week. Bye.
Hey guys. Leave us comments.
From executive producers Maria Menounos, Kevin Undergaro, Phil Svitek, and the entire AfterBuzz TV staff, we would like to thank you for listening to the AfterBuzz TV network. To watch or listen to other after shows and post comments or questions, be sure to visit AfterBuzzTV.com. I'm Sir Richard Wentworth, and this has been a presentation of AfterBuzz TV.
Buzz you later.
The views expressed herein are those of the hosts only and do not necessarily reflect the views of AfterBuzz TV or its owners or principals.